In this video, we're going to look at embedding YouTube videos onto an HTML page. So I'm in Visual Studio Code. I'm open to my JavaScript folder. I'm going to start a new file. I'll call it YouTube embed.html. I'm going to exclamation point to get the emmet abbreviation, give it a title, and give it an H1 header in the body. Okay. Now I'm going to continue with our theme of a drop-down list. So I'm going to ask them, tell them a label, give them a label. We're going to say, I'm going to have videos on artists that a certain creator has developed in YouTube, and I'm going to embed them onto this page that I'm making. So I'm going to say choose an artist. And then I'm going to have a drop-down select. Okay. I'm going to have options, and then I need to figure out what my options are. But let me give the select an ID so I can refer to it in code. Select artist. And then the label gets a 4 that matches the ID. Okay. Then I'm going to have below the select. So let me give it a break. So I'm below the break. And I'm going to have a little box called, the element is called an iframe. And in that iframe, I want to embed a YouTube video. So I've already done some searching, and I said iframe YouTube embed, and there's this W3 site. And I'm going to, here's the code for embedding an iframe. So I'm going to copy that, paste that down here. And I don't like the indenting, so I'm going to clean that up with a format, right-click, format, indent. I'm going to save. I'm going to run it. I just want you to see with this iframe. Here's my drop-down list without any artists in it. And here is this, they pick a particular video in their example. And here it is. Here's the SRC for that. Okay. So it's not the normal if I open up YouTube, and I have YouTube open up here. And I have it open to this one creator I like. Tells about lives of artists. And so if I pick a video and watch it, we see here that it usually says watch question mark V equals and then some code. But when we're embedding it, it's different. There's no V, so there's no V equals, but there's embed and then, but that same code. So what I want to do in my options is load up the code. So I want to work with the codes. And then I'll put the rest of this HTTP YouTube.com embed, I will take care of myself, and then I will grab these codes and make them the values of my options. Okay, so let's give that a try. I'm going to have an option, open option, close option. The value of my option is going to be this code in YouTube. So the one for Paul Clay is here, Control C, Control V, and this one is Paul Clay. Now my main action is going to be a change. So I need to have two options so I can change from one to the other. And so I will at least have one more. Let me get, so that was Paul Clay. Let me get him off. Maybe I'll get one more. Control copy. Control V, and what was that? That was, what was her name again? Hilma off Clint. Hilma off Clint, and then I'll do one more. And then I'll stop so you don't have to watch me type too much. It's already too much. So one more. I will do Jacob Lawrence. Okay, so Control V, and that was Jacob Lawrence. Okay, so now we see we have options, but they don't do anything just yet because I need in my select to call a function, our usual event. Sorry, on a select is the change. So when the user changes the option, I'm going to call, I don't know, show video or embed video. That would probably be better. Change, doesn't matter the name. But now I'm calling a function, so I should create a script area. Okay, and I want to define my function. What did I call it? Embed video, open close parenthesis, open close curly. Okay, and I want to do our usual. I want to get the this code from my drop-down select. So we know how to do that. Let me scroll a little higher on the page. I'm going to call my variable code. I can call it YouTube code, any number of things. I'm going to go to the page, document, get element by ID. What did I call it? Cell, I'm choosing an artist, so I called it cell artist. I want the value. Okay. And what do I want to do? I want to change the SRC of the iframe. So if I want to affect the iframe in code, I usually give it an ID. And so I'm going to give it an ID of IF for my prefix. I like to have a prefix that reminds me what it is. So I'm using IF for iframe. And then I'll say video. Okay. So now I want to say, I want to do something. First, I got something from the page. So document get element by ID was on the right. Now I want to do something to the page. So document get element by ID is on the left. I want to get the iframe element. Oops. And I called that IF video, capital V. And what property do I want to change? I want to change its SRC. And I don't want to change it to just the code, but something plus the code. So I'm going to grab this video that they put in and Control V here. And I want to take out, so this part, the part that I want exact, the part that I want to be literally the same, I keep in the quotation marks, but I want this code to change. And the part that I want to change, I take out. And so the part that always stays the same, I've kept in quotes. And now I want the part that changes, and that has to be code. And it's the variable, I call the variable code. So that's a long line. Let me see if I can get us so that we can see the whole line. There it is. Document get element by ID if video dot src equals this non-changing part, https://w.youtube.com/embed/. It's easy to miss these slashes, but I just want to change the code, and so the slash is something that I need that doesn't change, so I need to keep it there. And then there's the code. Let's see if that's working. So it comes up as the Muppet video in the beginning, but now I change to Hilma off Klimt, and there is the embedded video. And there's the Jacob Lawrence, and there's the Paul Clay. I want to give you some warning here is that when a creator creates on YouTube, they can mark their video such that you're not allowed to embed it on your page. Maybe they're making money on the video somehow, and they don't want you to embed it on your site and mess with that in any way. I don't know if that does mess with that in any way. I don't know the economics of YouTube, but anyway. So I want to add under the iframe. So under the iframe, so I'll put a break. Just in case I happen to pick a video, or in case the video right now is embeddable, but later on in the life of this video, the creator makes it not embeddable, then I want to have a link to the page. So that is an anchor tag. And then I'm going to pick out a real sort of YouTube video. So I'll pick this one, the Jacob Lawrence. And then I want to code these things. So it doesn't matter what I put in the beginning if I do enough work. But here's my Jacob Lawrence. Control V. And then I'll say, watch it on YouTube or something like that. And if I have, so this is a hyperlink, an anchor tag. If I want it to open in a new tab or a new window and not replace my page, then I add another attribute called the target and I make it _blank. So now this isn't coded yet. So here's my link that says watch it on YouTube. And if I click on that, it should open the Jacob Lawrence video. There in a new tab is my Jacob Lawrence video. Okay, here's my page still there. Okay, now I'm going to want to work with this in code. So I'm going to say ID equals anchor. I'll just say a video. And let me do similar here. Document get element by ID. The anchor tag was a video. this one, I want to change the href property. This is where the hyperlink is going. And it's going to look an awful lot like this, but not quite the same. But I'll copy it. And what did a real, so it was https www.youtube.com/watch $v equals. So not embed, but watch $v equals. Let's see how we're doing. So now I'm going to change to Hilma. And so here's the embedded. And now I think I've just changed the href so that this should open up to the Hilma site. Okay. So I have an iframe that uses the code to open an embedded version of the video. I have an anchor tag that will take the user to another page or another tab on regular old YouTube. And now what I want to do is sort of fix the problem that when it starts off, the video is pointing to this animal video and pointing to, and that link is pointing to this Jacob Lawrence. And I could just do that in design. I could just come here and make this Paul Clay and make this Paul Clay. And if they, because the first option is usually the selected one, but what I want to do is, and we've played this trick before, I want to trigger an event, or I want to dispatch an event. So I'm on Stack Overflow. And this I do not put in a function because I don't want it to, functions wait till they're called, but I want this code to not wait until it's called, but just to get executed sort of when the page starts. So I make it outside of a function. And what was my ID? It is the drop-down select, so the cell artist. And then I want to dispatch a change event. So let me format the document, make sure things line up nicely. They seem to. So this is me getting the select event. Here I'm getting not simply the select event in line 25. I'm getting the select event and then I'm getting the value from it. Whereas in line 30, I'm getting just the select, nothing particular about it. I'm getting the whole select. And then I'm sort of forcing that element, that select element, to have a change event. So now if I start this, here's my page. The embedded video is Paul Clay. That was the first one. That was sort of the pre-selected one, if you will. And then this should come up to also Paul Clay. There it is, Paul Clay. Okay, so I think that's mostly what I wanted to show you in this case. We've played before with drop-down selects, so this part is familiar. I have the select has an ID, it calls an event, then it calls a function on the change event. We have options. The value is a behind the scenes thing, so I don't have to show the user these funky YouTube codes. I can just show them something nice, like the name of the artist. And this is how we work an iframe, where we change iframe as an open and a close. I'm coding it, so I gave it an ID. These widths and height I just took from that one W3 schools site that I copied from. It had an SRC, but I'm changing that in code. And then, because not all YouTube videos can be embedded, I've given a backup where I've worked, in this case, with an anchor tag. So an anchor tag is a angle bracket A, and here's the close anchor tag, and between them is what the user sees. So the user sees this, watch it on YouTube, and the standard styling of a hyperlink is sort of blue underlining if you haven't been to that link, and purple underline if you have. And since I'm writing it in code, I gave it an ID. Since I wanted it to open in a new tab, I said target equals underscore blank. And then here was our function, the embed video. We got the code from the drop-down list, and we used that code. We concatenated the code with this embed URL to put it on the page, but with the watch v equal code to open up the link to a new tab with the video playing. And then 3031 was this code to make it seem like the user had chosen the first option when the page opened up. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you in this example. Thanks for your attention.